For a long time now, I've wanted to make a Disney video. Specifically, a top 10 Disney villains list. Why? Because I grew up during the golden age of Disney. That is between like 1989 and 2000, the 90s. And even as a child, I felt like I liked the bad guys more than the good guys. Bad guys are more complex, and there's more going on than their twisted little heads. So let's begin. Number 10, Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. Okay, before I get into him as a character, let me just say, Gaston is here as a placement character. Okay, he is like a spot. He's there as a point of comparison so that you guys know where everybody else lies in the scale. Okay, he's my least favorite character in Disney as far as villains. So yeah, Gaston is really just a big meathead. He's not at all very complex, and he just wants Belle because she's the most beautiful girl, and logically, she has to be with the most handsome guy. That's it. There's no internal turmoil, no thirst for vengeance. He's just a muscle-bound jock. Number 9, Shan Yu from Mulan. Here is a villain with a killer drive and a simple motive. He feels that by building the Great Wall, the Chinese have challenged his power, so now he needs to destroy them. Simple enough. He has an imposing presence and is terrifyingly strong, being able to cut a tree in half with a single sword blow. Plus, he commands a huge army. He is definitely not a villain you want to mess with. So why is he so low on this list? Well, because he doesn't really get much screen time. We don't really get to know Shan Yu. Plus, his death was kind of lame.
The little girl will be missing her doll. We should return it to her.
Number 8, Jafar from Aladdin. Oh, Jafar. Jafar was a very funny villain. He was serious one minute and then completely deranged the next. He was fully human until the end of the movie, but he had an array of magical weapons at his disposal. Most notably his hypnotizing serpent scepter. I do want to point out though, that he was not at all threatening, unlike Shan Yu. You got the feeling that he wasn't sure what he really wanted out of the genie. Once he destroys the life of an innocent boy, gets the genie and becomes its master, he really just wings it. From the way he wants the Sultan to bow down to him, you get the sense that he really didn't get much attention growing up. I kind of felt bad for him. While funny, Jafar was never really a scary or menacing villain. Number 7, the Horned King from the Black Cauldron. Oh, God, the Horned King. He was the exact opposite of Jafar. He was terrifying. From the darkest of all Disney movies comes the creepiest villain. He's just a walking zombie whose goal it is to raise an army of the dead in order to wipe out humanity. Ugh, dark. However, since the movie was so weird and creepy, I rarely ever watched it growing up, and therefore I only really have the nightmares to go on. He was such a scary villain that we would all do well to just store him in the deepest, darkest recesses of our childhood memories. Ugh. Ugh. Moving on. Number 6, Clayton from Tarzan. Here's a bad guy who is not the least bit subtle about being a bad guy. Clayton is introduced slashing up the jungle with a machete and shooting off his shotgun. Clayton fills the animal abuser category. So, why not Cruella de Vil? Well, because if you're going to kill 100 animals, what's a less frivolous and shallow reason? Money or fashion? Yeah, that's what I thought. Clayton is one big trigger-happy bruiser. He wants to find the gorillas in order to kill and or sell them for money. That's it. He, like many other characters to come, is motivated solely by greed.
I could use a challenge.
revenge, because after I get rid of you, rounding up your little ape family will be all too easy!
Number 5. Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog. Dr. Facilier is this high in the list because he is what the Horned King failed to be. Creepy with style. Dr. Facilier is a voodoo conman who swindles unfortunate tourists out of their money. He can call upon demonic forces to do his bidding with the promise of human souls. So what is his ultimate goal? Money! Of course! Because when you have a legion of hostile spirits at your command, what better use for them than to get rich? But in all honesty, Dr. Facilier had a certain charisma and a way about him that makes me understand why people fall for his tricks.
Shake my hand.
Come on, boys. Won't you shake a poor sinner's hand? Yeah.
Number 4. Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Ursula was a joy to watch. She's funny, eccentric, and who can forget her musical number?
That impressed with conversation. True gentlemen avoid it when they can. But they don't swoon and fawn on a lady who's withdrawn. It's she who holds her tongue who gets a man. Come on, you poor unfortunate soul. Go ahead, make your choice. I'm a very busy woman and I haven't got all day. It won't cost much, just your voice. You poor unfortunate soul. It's sad, but true. If you want to cross a bridge, my sweet, you've got to pay the toll. Take a gulp and take a breath and go ahead and sign the scroll.
However, I am still not sure what her true motivation is. In the beginning of the film, she hints to revenge, saying that she used to live in the palace, but she was banished. But by the end of the film, she was overtly power-hungry, gone completely mad with the power of the trident. That aside, she was a fast talker and a very powerful witch, who earns a solid place on my list.